Hello, Garstor here. One thing I'd like to do in the near future with my YouTube channel is put up some turntable renders using poser characters. And before I do that, I thought a nice display stand for the poser models would be nice. So I figured I would record a video just putting together a quick display stand and UV mapping it. So we'll start with a disk. We'll drag that out. And I'll bring my numeric panel over. Now I've already decided to use 40 sides. I've done this before, so it has my last settings in here. Let's just zero everything out. And the radius, I'm thinking of making it about 8 centimeters. So we'll need, and the Y, so the height is Y. LightWave uses Y as up. Some modeling programs use the Z as up, but LightWave is Y up, so we're going to do about 15 millimeters there, and 80 millimeters in the Z. Okay, so there we go. And I will do F2 to center, rest on ground. There we go. F3 is the rest on ground. So that gives me 2 n-gons here. And since this is going to be the bottom n-gon and won't be visible, I'm going to delete it. And the top n-gon, I am going to use multi-shift, which is probably my favorite LightWave tool. And we'll just inset a little bit, say maybe 3 millimeters, and then shift it up. Insert shift. 2 more millimeters. 1 more millimeter. Is that? Now I think I need to insert that a little bit more just to change the angle. There we go. That's looking pretty good, I think. Now we've got an n-gon on the top here. So I am going to make pole, which converts everything to trigons and puts me into point mode. I'm going to switch back to poly mode here. L to connect. So that just connects all these edges. Unselect all of those. So those are quads, which makes for nicer smoothing. Switching to quads as you come over from a 90 degrees that just gets rid of some pinching. But in here, if I go to edge mode, these are all trigons. Now they're perfectly flat, so they're not going to be a problem, but I try to get rid of trigons whenever possible. So I'm going to select them all and go to select nth pattern, and n is at 2. So just click OK. So it selects every other one. Hit delete. And looks like it may have, nope, it didn't miss anything. We're good. So these are all quads now. Switch back to polygon mode and bring the statistics over. So everything is 180 polys and they're all 4 vertices. So perfect. Everything's quad. Now the only other thing I want to do is use the LightWave CAD engraver tool and pull out some nicely routed, or give the appearance of routed edges here. So it's just a matter of picking one. There's lots of profiles to choose from. I've actually purchased some expanded ones. You can go to massivetree.com for some of those. Let's try picture frames. Is a little too fancy. Let's see the molding one. This comes with LightWave CAD. These are pretty plain. Molding 2 also pretty plain. These are all good for, oh, that one's kind of nice. Let's go with that. And we'll just offset that by maybe 7 millimeters. Yeah, that's looking pretty good, I think. Press return. Yeah. That's not bad. Okay. So, now to surface everything, I am going to give this top surface here a name. I'll be really creative and I'll just call it top. Then I'm going to invert the selection and call this sides. So we've got just under 1200 polys. Looks pretty good, I think. Save this. And I'll make a new folder. Let's see, call it displays. This one will be display 1. So I want to UV layout this. I could probably do this in LightWave, but I'm a little rusty with LightWave UV mapping right now. I've been in UV layout for so long that I'm kind of used to that. So UV layout requires OBJ format. So I'm just going to save this as display1 OBJ. And I will close this in LightWave. We'll load and displays OBJ. It is polygonal. We'll have new. It's pretty simple. We shouldn't need any weld or clean, so let's just load that. And there we go. So I extended the top right to here. So I'm going to do a Shift-C cut on that. And just pop that top off, drop that to the UV room. Now this will probably have some interesting unwraps thanks to all these extra little bevels in here. So technically all we need is one cut around there. And theoretically, we could flatten this as one giant rectangle. But I'm not going to do that. I am actually going to also make a cut back here. So pretty much 180 right across that edge. So we'll actually have two separate pieces here. So drop that and drop that. So we'll press F to flatten. That's nice and fast. There's no distortion. It's such a simple flat shape. And I will do R for rectangle on those two. And we'll just zoom in. Okay, a little bit of distortion there, but hardly noticeable. This is actually pretty simple and straightforward. So if we click W on here to weld and move, looks like it wants to weld to that bit. And if we go across, put a W there, move, wants to weld there. Yeah, that's not ideal. Let's not do the weld. Let's just pack this. I'm sure a 2K map size will be fine. We are not going to lock all to tile this time. Choose mid. And there we go. And we zoom in, and yep, we've got a little bit of space there. Okay. And I think we can grow this one just a little bit and scale it ever so slightly, just to get a little bit more resolution on it. So let's do scale by point. 0.1 might be too much. Let's try 0.05. And we'll use shell and scale. Scale a couple of times. Can I do a third time? I don't think I can. Let me try to move this. Yeah, let's see, I can't quite move it back in without getting some overlap. So let's scale it back. So you can see it's got a very slight blue discoloration since we have made it just a little bit larger, but that's okay. Everything fits nicely into the tile. So we'll save, dismiss, exit, and now we'll reopen the OBJ. There we go. I'll move these out of the way. And we'll switch to UV texture view. Bring up the display 1 UV. So there's our UV. Looks pretty good. Save object as, and we'll go back to LWO format. And there we go. We're ready to begin texturing this however we wish. We can do it in LightWave here. We can do it in Substance Painter or the Quixel suite, or in Photoshop if one is so inclined and creative enough. I'm not, so I'm not going to do that. I'll probably use Substance Painter for this. But there we go. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. LightWave CAD Engraver tool is just amazing. It's almost worth the price of LightWave CAD alone just to get some of these really nice profiles. I mean, you could model this yourself, but you saw that this only took a few seconds to produce this. So that's pretty darn cool in my opinion. Anyway, hope you found this interesting. Thanks a lot.